I was planning to spend a bit more time on Special Front, but then I made a big mistake. I accidentally read what the last buff actually did, and I realized it was pretty bonkers. So I tried to do VEC-12 again, and it was pretty easy, even once I started swapping out the 6 stars. To be honest, there isn't much to talk about with this clear. I make a lot of errors throughout the run, but the buff is just so strong that there's so much room for making mistakes. Puzzle is the operator that really opens this map up. With the stream of weak enemies and the massive attack speed buffs, he basically prints DP on the level of Myrtle. Ethan is here obviously. Primarily it's because we need someone to bind Leaf Carpet, but also because we have the -3 block debuff. We need a fair bit of stall in the middle lane. Seiza is here for some ranged physical damage. No clue if he's a good option here. He's literally the first guy I picked, and he was good enough for the job. Baseline is here since he's the most versatile healing defender I have available. I want a healing defender since I don't have a medic covering the bottom lane for the first half of the fight. Herald is here for healing and to deal with some of the corrosion damage. Totter is here to do damage to Mechanist. I really wanted to get an arts damage dealer down for Mechanist, but I couldn't find a way to get that working without Mechanist grenading my operators as he approached, since I need to make sure that Bison is my last deployed operator. And for this first phase of deployments, Bison is my last deployed. He has a lot of defense and 3 blocks, so he can stop Mechanist and tank all of his grenades. This first phase looks stable, but there's a hidden timer in the form of the corrosion damage that's constantly being applied. Herald helps mitigate some of this, but eventually Bison and Baseline will lose too much defense and die. Ada is here to pop Document's damage reduction bubble. Again, no clue if he's a good choice here. I literally just scrolled down my list of operators and chose one with high attack. This part with Document is the only RNG dependent part of the clear. Ethan needs to get enough binds on Document, but his bind chance is so high it's basically guaranteed. And once the 2 water cars are gone, we can swap Ethan out for Noelle and trigger Mechanist's second Nirvana program. In Phase 2, Mechanist constantly removes block count, and we already have so little to work with due to the -3 block debuff. This means this phase is really a race to burst down Mechanist before the dog makes it to the blue box. The attack speed buff makes taking down Mechanist's shield lightning fast, and the various attack and attack speed buffs mean Totter can punch through Mechanist's defenses on demand in both phases of the fight. Blitz is here just to add to our stalling power with his stun. He also has 3 block, which gives us another operator to block with. If that didn't work, I would have probably tried swapping Sessa out for Kenny Pallet. His Levitate is probably long enough that Mechanist would need to apply the block debuff to both defenders an additional time to free the dog. I tried to make a 5 stars only run using Austa, but he really just doesn't compare to Ethan. And I ran into a lot of problems with the 2 water cars that come near the end of the stage. I deployed Puzzle here a bit early, meaning I mistimed Mechanist's vulnerability window and Totter's skill. I'm still not used to how fast everyone is attacking. But since everyone attacks so fast, his next vulnerability window comes back before Totter's skill even ends, so everything's good. I didn't even need to redeploy Ethan here, but I guess there's no harm in some extra damage. And that's really all I have to say here. It's not a very complicated clear, but I don't really see any operators that could be easily removed either. So I think I'm just gonna leave the run like this, since I wasn't even planning to do this in the first place.
Let's go back, Doctor. I'm craving a huge cup of ice water right about now.